Welcome, my dear student. As we can continue the interrupt parts, because as this is the important parts of this of our unit, that is important parts of this unit. So in the last video we also discussed the interrupt, and in this video we also continue that the same part we tried to discuss in this video. Now, in terms of the interrupt, the device requesting an interrupt may identify itself directly to the processor. First, the device can do so by sending a special code like a 4-bit code or like a 8-bit code, and that code to be processed over the bus. This code supplied by the device may be represent a part of the starting address of the interrupt service routine. The remainder of the starting address is to be obtained by the processor, which is based on the other information such as the range of such as the range of the memory address where the interrupt service routine is are to be located. Usually, the location pointed by the interrupting devices is used to store the starting address of the interrupt service routine. Previously, before the processor start executing the interrupt service routine for the device, it disable the interrupts from the device. In general, the some same arrangement is used when multiple devices can send the interrupt request to the processor. And during the execution of an interrupt service routine of the device, the processor does not accept the interrupt request from any other devices. Since the interrupt service routines are usually short, the delay that this causes is generally acceptable. However, for the certain device, this delay may not be acceptable. Which device can be allowed to interrupt processor when it is executing an interrupt service routines to the another devices. There are the IO devices are to be organized in a priority structure, and depending on their priority, they are to be executed. An interrupt request from high priority devices is accepted while the processor is executing the interrupt service required for low priority devices. The priority level is assigned to the processor that can be changed under some program control, and that will be a priority level of the processor is the priority of the program that is currently being executed. When the processor start executing the interrupt service routine of a device, its priority is raised to that of the device. If the device sending and the interrupt request has higher priority than the processor, then the processor accept the interrupt request. Processor priority is encoded in a few bits of the processor status register. That the priority can be changed by the instruction that write into the processor or the status register. Usually, these are to be a privileged instructions or instructions that can be executed only in the supervisor mode. The privileged instructions cannot be executed in the user mode. Prevents a user program from accidentally and intentionally changing the priority of the processor. And if there is an attempt to execute a privileged instruction in the user mode, it causes the special type of interrupt which is called as a privilege expectation. Normally, that interrupt can arrive at an any times normally and may be altered the sequence of the event predicted by the programmer, and hence the interruptions of the program execution must be carefully controlled. All the computer provide the programmer with ability to enable and to disable the such a instruction at the various times during the program execution. There are the many situations in which the processor should ignore the interrupt request. For example, oriented we will see that the compute print program, we will already see that how the print routine and command routines will get work. In another cases, it may be necessary to guarantee that the particular sequence of the instruction is executed to the end without interruption. And because the interrupt service routines may be changed in some of the data which is used by those instructions. For this reason, the programmer must be enabled must be able to enable and to disable the interrupt. The one way is to provide a machine instruction such as interrupt enable and interrupt disable that perform this function. And when the device activates the interrupt request signal, it keeps this signal activated until it's learned that the processor has accepted its request. This means that the interrupt request signal is active during the execution of the interrupt service routine, perhaps until it reaches to the instruction that successfully that to be access the device. It is essential to ensure that this active request signal does not lead to successive interruption, which causing the system to enter an infinite loop from which it cannot recover. There are certain mechanisms by using that particular mechanism we can solve that particular problem. How? First of all, initially, the first possibility is to have the processor hardware which ignore the interrupt request until the first instruction of the interrupt service routine has to be completed, executed. And by using the interrupt disable instruction as the first instruction in the interrupt service routine, the programmer can ensure that the no further interruption occur until the interrupt enable instruction is executed. This is the last instructions in the interrupt service in the ISR, that is interrupt service routine, before the return from interrupt instruction. The processor must guarantee that the return from the interrupt instruction is completely executed before further interruptions can be occurred. Another is the second option is to have the processor automatically disable the interrupt before it start executing the ISR, and that is after saving the content of the PC and after saving the content of the program status register, the processor automatically perform the equivalent of the executing and interrupt disable instruction of one bit in the program status register. The interrupt must indicate whether the interrupt are disabled. The processor set this bit to disable the interrupt before it start execution of the interrupt service routine. Similarly, the processor may automatically enable interrupts when the return from interrupt instruction is executed. This is one of the results of restoring the old content of the program's status register. Another important approach while to solve this particular problem, we can use another approach is to arrange the interrupt handling circuit in the processor so that it responds only to the leading edge of the interrupt request signal. Since only one such a transition is seen by the processor for every request to be generated by the device, there is no any further interruption will be occur. There are certain scenarios where the interrupts are to be enabled, that the device raise an interrupt request itself, interrupt is occur, the processor interrupt and programs currently being executed, interrupt are to be disabled. Another is that the device is to be informed that its request has been recognized and response. Another is that the action requested by the interrupt is performed by the interrupt service routine. Then the execution of the interrupt program is the resume. These are the certain scenario where the interrupt are to be enabled. So this is all about the interrupts. In the next video again we can try to go in the details of that interrupt. So keep watching the next video also. Thank you.